Welcome back to another episode of Sustainable Success Sanity. I'm your host, Tiffany, your resilience coach and therapist friend. And this episode is going to be a little different. As someone who definitely cares deeply about social justice, equity, and humanity, I also know it can feel absolutely exhausting, the weight of it all. That's honestly why it took me so long to put together this particular episode, to feel like I can deliver it with authenticity and emotion without crying, a topic that I'm really passionate and I tend to train on often. Today's episode is for anyone who has ever looked at the state of the world and thought, I want to help, but I'm so tired. I get it. If you've ever thought, how do I stay committed without losing myself? How do those other activists do it? Don't worry. You're not alone. And today we're going to explore how to stay in the fight sustainably. How can you stay consistent with your caring without burning out, without giving up, without shutting down? So let's talk about something I don't think anybody's ever talked about. And I have a master's degree in social service and in social work. My whole career is committed to this. I don't think I ever heard anybody actually say social justice exhaustion. Yeah, it's real. Social justice fatigue is real. And when you're a person like me who cares deeply, emotionally, and personally, I assure you I do. It's very complicated for me. The constant exposure to trauma, harm, oppression, and injustice, it takes its toll. Honestly, your nervous system gets activated. Your body starts to hold all that tension, the anger, your chest tightens. You'll probably feel yourself feeling angry, helpless, overwhelmed, numb. All of the above, sometimes all at the same time. You're not alone. Me and my clients, we've all felt this way. And here's the truth. Your body is not built to carry the entire world's pain. It's not. Your nervous system can't sustain the constant crisis mode. We were never meant to fight every single battle. It's impossible. But so many of us, especially those of us with marginalized identities, mine's complicated. But if you grew up or were in or are in a marginalized identity, you were conditioned to believe, you probably were, I can't assume, that you're failing if you rest. Whether someone said it out loud to you or you just internalized it for yourself. But you can't fight every battle. You're not meant to carry the whole world. You're literally one human being with one body and one mind and one heart. I've said it before in other episodes, but I really know you need to hear it right now. Your exhaustion is not a character flaw. Your exhaustion is not a character flaw. It is a biological response to chronic stress and emotional overload. And yet, I know, your desire for justice is real. I know mine is. No matter what level of overwhelm, I know my desire for justice is real. Your heart for people is real. And your commitment to equity is real. So how do we hold both? How do we honor humanity and our values without going insane, without giving up, without burning out? This is where today's tool comes in, the strategy. And I didn't make it up. I can't take credit for this. This is a strategy that has been preached by social justice advocates for, I would say, 3, 4, 5 decades now. So just know it works. And I'm teaching it because it's important more now than ever. Okay, so today I'm teaching value-driven action. Value-driven action asks you to choose one action rooted in these 3 things: your values, your capacity, and your season. Your values meaning what matters to you most. Your capacity meaning what you can actually sustain. And your season being the reality of your life right now. The reason value-driven action is so important is it stops you from getting overwhelmed for trying to think you got to commit to something way beyond what is accessible to you right now and sustainable to you right now. Because not every action is for every season. And not every season is for intense action, and that's okay. I know me, sometimes I get overwhelmed when I see the protests on TV and I want to fly to that state and I want to get on the ground and I want to do the thing, but that is not my season at that time. And it's okay. Sometimes your activism will look like marching. Sometimes it looks like donating. Sometimes it looks like setting boundaries. Let me tell you, I'm in a very big season of setting boundaries with family and friends. And boundaries for me in this season means not allowing them access to me, okay? And not having certain conversations. So just know that. Sometimes it looks like resting your nervous system so you don't collapse, literally, physically, and also mentally. So I want to give you some examples of what sustainable actions look like. That could be donating $5 or $10 or more if you have it, calling a local, state, or federal representative, emailing a legislator, knowing who your legislator is first, of course. It also could be supporting a creator or organizer that you know supports the causes that are important to you. This next one's really important. Share factual information. Go out of your way to actually fact check things before you share it with others. But now more than ever, factual information is really important. Another action, value-driven action you can take is volunteering 1 hour. No one's saying you gotta commit to 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week, or you're gonna do like every Saturday, but just start with a value-driven action. Volunteer 1 hour, somewhere meaningful to you. This could also be having a conversation with someone in your circle. Another value-driven action possibility is setting a boundary with a draining discussion or person, right? There might be certain topics that you just don't want to engage in. There's certain videos you don't want to see. That is a value-driven action. You could also rest so you can actually show up again tomorrow. Because small does not mean insignificant. If the action you registered as being small, that does not mean it's insignificant. Because sustainable does not mean weak. Consistency requires capacity, and capacity requires care, which means even though you might register it as small, small means consistent. That means you might be able to sustain it, and that's what really makes a difference. You can be committed without being consumed. I know this is hard in the day of social media and just like the barrage of media and content. You can be committed without being consumed. Set boundaries with your media and with your news and with what you're consuming, because you can, in fact, be committed without being consumed. You can love your people and care for your body. This is important to me. I love deeply Black and brown communities and the LGBTQI plus communities. And for me to show up for them, I have to take care of me. So you can advocate and rest. Please rest. You can resist and recover. It's a good slogan, so remember, you can resist and recover. Burnout does not necessarily make you ineffective. It just makes you unavailable. If you're burnt out, you can't show up and be sustainable. And sustainability is not the opposite of activism. No. Sustainability is activism. There is no major change without it being consistent for a period of time. We need your value-driven action because it's sustainable. Your humanity is not a distraction from the work. Your humanity is actually part of the work. So like we always do in the other episodes, I want you to take a deep breath in with me, hold it for just a moment, and then breathe out before we do today's affirmations. These affirmations are deeply rooted in your humanity and your ability to take value-driven action. So breathe in with me now, in, hold it, and breathe out. And repeat these affirmations after me. I honor my humanity and still show up with integrity. Yes, please. Next. My capacity matters. Yes, it does. Next. My rest is part of my resistance. And last but not least, I do not have to carry the whole world to change it. No, you don't have to carry the whole world to change it. You do need to take value-driven action, again, so it's sustainable. I want to thank you from the very bottom of my heart for staying in this conversation. If you've made it this far in the episode, thank you so much for staying in the conversation in the way that you can, when you can. I wish you all love and light, and I'll see you in the next episode.